hope for the first time in months. As they left the hospital, Lisa turned to them and said, "You know, I found someone new, someone who loves me for who I am, and I am very happy." Micheal and Pat looked at each other, feeling a pang of regret. They had lost Lisa's trust and love, and now she was moving on without them. Meanwhile,
I see you, my heart, baby. A lady of all men's dreams. You be the one.
Hello guys, remember Lisa, the woman who lost her fiancé to her sister. And here is a quick recap on that one. Lisa's perfect life shattered when Micheal confessed his love for Pat on their wedding day. Pat, who is supposed to be Lisa's sister, revealed she was pregnant with Michael's child. Lisa confronted them, exposed their lies, and took legal action. Lisa started a consulting agency called New Beginning to help those who have been betrayed. Now, let's check what's been happening with Lisa after this terrible incident. Months have passed and Lisa's consulting service gained traction. She met with clients, listened to their stories, and helped them find strength, but her own life remained complicated. Lisa, in her New Beginning office, a consulting service that helped others heal from betrayal, Lisa decided to use her experience to help others who have been betrayed. She started a consulting service called New Beginning, where she could offer support and guidance to those who were blindsided by deceit. Her friend Linda, who had stood by her through everything, joined her in this venture. As they worked together, Lisa felt a sense of purpose she had never known before. She was turning her pain into something positive, and it felt amazing. Meanwhile, Micheal and Pat's life was starting to unravel. Pat had given birth to a beautiful baby boy, but Micheal was not thrilled. He blamed Pat for their misfortune and the child for their financial struggles. One day, they contacted Lisa, desperate for her help. They needed money and a place to stay, and they thought Lisa would be willing to assist them since she is doing so well. But Lisa was not having it. She had set boundaries and was determined to keep them in place. Micheal, Pat, "I am not going to help you," Lisa said firmly over the phone. "You made your bed, now lie on it. You betrayed me in the worst possible way, and I am not going to forgive and forget." "But Lisa, please," Pat begged. "We are desperate. We have nowhere else to go." "I am sorry, Pat, but you should have thought of that before you slept with my fiancé and got pregnant. You should have thought of that before you lied to me and stole my money." Micheal jumped in, his voice angry. "Lisa, you are being unreasonable. We are family. We need your help." "No, Micheal, you are not my family. You are the man who betrayed me, and Pat is the sister who helped you do it. I am done with both of you. Don't ever contact me again." Lisa hung up the phone, feeling a sense of pride and strength. She had stood up for herself and set boundaries. She was moving on with her life, and she was not going to let Micheal and Pat drag her back down. As she walked back into her office, Linda looked up at her with a smile. How did it go? They wanted help. Can you imagine that? But of course I said no. I am done with them. Linda, I am moving on. Linda nodded, her eyes shining with pride. "You are amazing, Lisa. You are so strong and brave. I am honored to be a part of your life." Lisa smiled, feeling a sense of gratitude towards Linda. She was lucky to have friends like her, friends who stood by her through thick and thin. As they continued working on their project, Lisa felt a sense of peace wash over her. She was finally free from the toxic relationships that had held her back for so long. She was finally living the life she deserved, a life filled with purpose, love, and happiness. But little did Lisa know, Micheal and Pat's trouble were far from over. They were to face a new challenge, one that would change their lives forever. As we unravel the next chapter of this story, please consider subscribing to the channel. Back at Micheal and Pat's home, they were very worried. They had no money, no home, and no friends. They had to stay in a small dirty apartment and share a bed with their baby. Micheal was very angry and blamed Pat for all their problems. If you hadn't gotten pregnant, we shouldn't be in this mess, he shouted. Pat cried and cried, feeling sad and alone. She had never imagined that her life would turn out like this. One day, their baby got very sick and had to go to the hospital. Micheal and Pat were very scared and didn't know what to do. They went to the hospital and saw a kind doctor who helped their baby get better. But when they got the bill, they were shocked. They had no money to pay for the hospital bill. The doctor saw how sad and worried they were and came over to talk to them. You know, I've seen many people in trouble, but I've never seen anyone as unhappy as you two. What's going on? Micheal and Pat looked at each other and started crying. They told the doctor everything, how they had betrayed Lisa, how they had lost their home and friends, and how they were struggling to take care of their baby. The doctor listened carefully and then said, "You know, I can help you with the hospital bill, but you need to help yourself too. You need to make a change and start being honest and kind to people." Micheal and Pat looked at each other and nodded. They knew the doctor was right. They needed to change their ways and start afresh. But as they were about to leave the hospital, they saw a familiar face, Lisa. She was standing in the hallway, looking happy and strong. Micheal and Pat felt ashamed and didn't know what to say. They had hurt Lisa so badly, and now they were face to face with her again. Lisa saw Micheal and Pat and felt a mix of emotions. She was happy to see them struggling, but also sad that they had to go through so much. "Hello, Micheal." "Hello, Pat," Lisa said calmly. "I see you are in a tough spot. How is your baby?" Pat started crying again, feeling ashamed. "Lisa, we are so sorry. We were so wrong to betray you." Lisa looked at them with a hint of sympathy. "You were wrong, Pat. You both were. But I'm not here to rub it in your face. I am here to help you." "Yes, I am." Micheal and Pat looked at each other in surprise. "Help us?" Micheal repeated. "Yes, help you," Lisa said firmly. "But not because I am a saint or because you are a saint. It's because of this little baby, my nephew. At the end of the day, he is my blood. And also because I want to show you that there is a better way to live, a way without lies and betrayal." Lisa took out her phone and dialed a number. "Hey Eva, it's Lisa. I need your help with something." Eva, Lisa's lawyer, arrived at the hospital and listened to Micheal and Pat's story. She offered to help them get better on their feet, but only if they promised to be honest and work hard. Micheal and Pat agreed, feeling a glimmer of hope for the first time in months. As they left the hospital, Lisa turned to them and said, "You know, I found someone new, someone who loves me for who I am, and I am very happy." Micheal and Pat looked at each other, feeling a pang of regret. They had lost Lisa's trust and love, and now she was moving on without them. Meanwhile, Lisa's new partner, Alex, was waiting for her outside. He was kind, handsome, and successful, and he loved Lisa with all his heart. As they drove away from the hospital, Lisa leaned over and kissed Alex. "I am so glad I found you," she said. Alex smiled and put his arm around her. "I am glad too, Lisa. You deserve all the happiness in the world." Micheal and Pat watched them drive away, feeling a deep regret for their actions. They had lost Lisa's love and trust, and now they were struggling to survive. Lisa and Alex got married a year later. Surrounded by friends and family, they had a beautiful baby girl named Sophia, and Lisa finally felt like she had found her happily ever after. Meanwhile, Micheal and Pat were still struggling. They had managed to get back on their feet, but they could never shake off the feeling of regret and guilt. They will often see Lisa and Alex at social events and family gatherings, and it will remind them of what they had lost. One day, they bumped into Lisa at a grocery store. She was with Sophia, who was now a toddler. Micheal and Pat were taken aback by how happy and content Lisa looked. "Lisa, can we talk to you for a minute?" Micheal asked, feeling nervous. Lisa looked at them worriedly, but nodded. "What is it?" "We just wanted to say sorry again," Pat said, tears in her eyes. "We know we can't undo what we did, but we are so sorry for hurting you." Lisa looked at them with a mix of emotions. She was still angry, but she could see the regret in their eyes. "I appreciate that," Lisa said, "but you need to understand that sorry isn't enough. You need to live with the consequences of your actions." Micheal and Pat nodded, feeling a pang of regret. They knew they had made a mistake, and they would have to live with it for the rest of their lives. As they parted ways, Lisa couldn't help but feel a sense of closure. She had moved on with her life, and she was happy. Micheal and Pat, on the other hand, were still living with their regrets. Years went by, and Lisa's life only got better. She and Alex had another baby, a boy named Jack, and they were a happy family of 4. Micheal and Pat, on the other hand, were still struggling. They had never found happiness again, and they were still living with the guilt of what they had done. And that's the story of Lisa, Micheal, and Pat. A story of betrayal, regret, and happiness. And here is a question for you, my beautiful viewers. Do you think Lisa was right to forgive her sister, Pat, for her betrayal? Would you be able to forgive a family member for something like that? Do you think forgiveness is always the best option? Or are there times when it's better to hold on to anger and resentment? How do you think Lisa's life would have been different if she hadn't forgiven Pat? Thank you so much for watching to this end, and please consider subscribing to the channel for more engaging stories and updates. Like and share this video with your friends and family who love a good story. Comment below with your thoughts on the story and the question we asked. I would love to hear from you. Stay tuned for more story that will make you laugh, cry, and think. Don't miss out on our next story. Till I see you again in my next story, please hit that notification bell to stay updated. Goodbye.